Each of us here today is the emissary of a distinct culture, a rich history, and a people bound together by ties of memory, tradition, and the values that make our homelands like nowhere else on earth. That is why America will always choose independence and cooperation over global governance, control, and domination. I honor the right of every nation in this room to pursue its own customs, beliefs, and traditions. The United States will not tell you how to live or work or worship. We only ask that you honor our sovereignty in return. From Warsaw to Brussels to Tokyo to Singapore, it has been my highest honor to represent the United States abroad.
You hear that? You hear they're not laughing now. They were just laughing, oh, ha, 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 oh, Donald, ha, 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 ha. But they're not laughing now. The first thing I want to point out, because a lot of people on Twitter, all the headlines, all the news headlines are President Trump gets laughed at the United Nations. And they say, this is so embarrassing. Consider who's laughing. Consider the people who are laughing. First of all, some of the most horrific countries on earth, Venezuela, Iran, those guys are like, okay, they're laughing, ha, ha, ha. Who else is laughing? People in the European Union, people whose defense we pay for, people that we're defending. Who else is laughing? People that we give money to in foreign aid. Who else is laughing? People who would take away the rights of their citizens and of citizens around the world to govern themselves. That's who's laughing. Great. I hope those guys would laugh at me. I really hope they'll laugh at me. And they're not laughing now. When he gets into this, they're not laughing. This isn't going to be some fluffy, eccentric speech. He is laying this out very clearly. The United States will resist global governance by bodies specifically like the United Nations and the International Criminal Court. And there is a movement right now around the world, especially in Europe, to pull away from these supranational institutions and organizations that take away people's rights to govern themselves. Trump isn't using Trumpy language here. He's not using colorful language. He is getting right to the heart of it, and they are listening. So he talks about the global governance. He stands up and, for all intents and purposes, says the UN is a dystopian fantasy. And not that it's a wonderful, great, nice dream idea, that it's a bad fantasy because it takes away the rights of people to govern themselves. And he has the courage to go to the UN and say, for all intents and purposes, we oppose you. And then he gets into specifics because the way that this point of view is caricatured is that, oh, he's an isolationist. The US is going to retreat. It's going to ignore the international community. The rest of the world is going to go forward. We're going to say, no, no, no. We're going to allow atrocities to happen. But this view, the view of this administration, whether it's Trump's view or not, it is now because he's articulating it, is that it's much more nuanced than that. Here, I'll let him explain it.
In this vein, we urge the United Nations-led peace process be reinvigorated. But rest assured, the United States will respond if chemical weapons are deployed by the Assad regime.
You hear that. It's not they can do whatever they want. Oh, let Russia do whatever they want. Oh, let Assad do whatever they want. No, it isn't that. He's saying the peace process in the UN wants to keep going on. We won't interfere with that.